fellow babies. Welcome back to the Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Appreciate you guys joining us. I hope you're getting this real time as a patron on Patreon. If so, thank you so much for your patronage. If you can't do that because you can't get your act together, please try to link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account. Amazon will pay us if you link them. You have to re-up every month, but it's a single click. Instructions are in the show description, so easy to do. That would really help us. This week, our first question from Sifted from Mitch only. What are your thoughts on the Xbox Series X announcement at the Game Awards? Was that the right way to announce it? What do you think of the PC tower look? Does revealing something like this without an opportunity to explain more hurt Microsoft? What do you think of the name? It's hard to shorten or create an acronym for, so people are already calling it Xbox Sex. I encourage you to go to Twitter and go to Jeff Gerstmann's posting on this. He had a 3-tweet post saying he thinks it's actually a great announcement and a great name. And he also said Xbox Sex and whatever. Anytime you have X's and S's and stuff, you're going to get people saying shit like that. I frankly give a shit about the name. I don't care at all. I think Xbox Series X is the only thing that's confusing about it is there's a device called an Xbox One X. So when grandma walks in to buy one next year, let's hope that the store clerk understands that she wants the new one. My bias is the Xbox One X will be $200 or something by the time the Xbox Series X launches at $400 or $500. So, I think grandma will know how much she wants to spend, but I don't really care what they call it. I mean, I think it's important for the Xbox to have an identity. I actually like that, you don't call them Xbox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a benefit. I had a long talk with an Intel guy yesterday about the benefit in understanding, again, I'm dating myself, but 8087 followed by 8088 followed by 286, 386, 486, and Pentium. We kind of understood what was coming next. And then we got into the Core i7, i5, i9, I don't even know what they mean. And, there's something about the Apple iPhone. It's like iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. There's no 9, I don't know why. But at least you understand an 11 is newer than a 10. Sequential numbers are easy for consumers to understand, and I think when you update your hardware every year like iPhone does, it's important that you have, sequential numbers. When you update your hardware every 6 years or 7 years like Microsoft is doing, I think people can pretty much figure out that the Series X is the new one and the Xbox One X is the old one. But I agree, lots of X's. Okay, what do I think of the tower look? I think the tower look is immensely cool. And, I think I read a lot about this today, but the fact is that a console is a PC. And I think making it look like a tower PC is sending you that signal. This is the newest and coolest and most powerful thing we've ever made. I particularly like the way that they revealed. Just randomly, I spoke to the industrial designer who designed it last night. I don't remember his name, but I was telling him how cool I thought the look was. And I was introduced to him by Eric Eisenberg, who did the ad for it. And I told Eric how cool I thought the ad was because it morphed into it. He's like, that's the effect we were going for. So for me, super effective. Now you're asking me, I'm a nobody, I'm a finance guy, I know nothing about anything. I'm a consumer. So it at least resonated with one consumer. I don't know if it resonated with all, but I like the shape. I'm okay with the name, and again, don't care because they don't come out so frequently that this confusion between the Xbox One X and Series X is going to last more than the first year, so who cares? The hardcore first movers are going to know what they're buying, so I'm not worried that some hardcore guy who wants the latest and greatest Xbox is going to buy the old one. I don't think that's even a remote possibility. So answer, I don't think it hurts Microsoft at all. I think revealing it without an opportunity to explain more, here we are talking about it. So clearly they're doing something right because that's all they want is the conversation. I think announcing this in December of 19 when it's very likely coming out in November of 20. They got 11 months of us talking about it. So I think that's all great. I hope that was responsive to your question. Our next question from YouTube from Hey Listen Radio. What's your overall take on the Game Awards 2019? Did you like the musical performances? Were there enough awards presentations instead of just announcing them? Mixed on music, and my opinion on presentations is kind of irrelevant. I've been to every Game Awards show. By a lot, this was the best one ever. They've gotten better every year, and by better, I mean smoother, seamless. This one more than last year, and last year better than the year before. Just everything worked, and there, even though we had lots of advertisements, it wasn't goofy like Kyle Bosman trying to interview the Schick or Gillette Atra guy or whatever it was. So it was a lot smoother. The celebrities remain interesting, and I think Jeff gets pretty big gets with some of these guys. And I think the mix worked. I think the blend worked. I think that, who knows what awards are important to people. So to me, best esports player, I don't care about that, but I'm sure a lot of the audience does. So I'm more about games than I am about honoring the esports player or the voice actor or whatever, but the voice actor more important than the esports player. But again, I think that they did a really nice blend of things that were relevant. And as far as the musical performances, I'm going to probably answer this differently than you meant to ask it. I thought the orchestra was phenomenal, and I thought each of the 2 or 3 orchestra performances phenomenal. And I even commented to people next to me, the logistics, having to put all those chairs in and the riser in so the orchestra sounds right, and then take it down and then put it back and then take it down and then put it back, amazing to me. So the logistics of putting that show on were really something. As far as Grimes and Green Day, I am not a fan of either. And when I say I'm not a fan, I don't dislike them. I wouldn't recognize Grimes if I walked into her on the street. I was talking to Shane about this. I saw Green Day, obviously I know who they are. I didn't recognize any of the players. I don't know anybody in that band. And it's just not my thing. And again, I didn't miss the 90s. I like plenty of music from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now. They're just not a band that I care about. So I have them kind of lumped in with Def Leppard and 38 Special. Bands that have songs you heard of, and they're relevant to somebody, but I just don't own an album by them because don't care. So not my choice. I laughed because Brandon Jones apparently thought it was really fun to watch me watch Green Day. And I was I stood up and I actually had to tell the people next to me, let's just stand up and be respectful, but I didn't give a shit. I couldn't wait for it to end, and it wasn't bad. They were fine. Grimes, I literally, until Elon Musk walked in, I didn't know that was Grimes, and the only reason I know her name is because she's dating him. Now, obviously, there are many people who think that Elon Musk is famous because he's dating her. So I don't want to diss her. I'm sure she is a massive celebrity in her own right. But I saw Elon Musk walk in. I'm like, Elon Musk just showed up at the Game Awards. He's a Hanzo main, whatever. So then I realized that must be Grimes because that's his girlfriend. But I didn't. I thought she reminded me of Britney Spears 20 years ago, just kind of a lip sync, kind of nothing performance. It was fine. I thought Green Day, I didn't recognize either song because I'm old and I'm just lame and I don't know who they are. I do, but I don't really care. But props to Keeley because Green Day's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and he got him there, so that's a big get. Grimes apparently is topical and relevant and cool and people like her, so good for him. And he's playing to the audience for this show, so I think those are good gets. Personally, I like the orchestra because that's how I roll. Our next question from Patreon from Jacob Smith. Was Microsoft's unveiling of the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards a smart move? Will it help it get the leg up on Sony, Or is revealing the name and the form factor so early going to take the wind out of its sails for 2020? I got to say, so there's obviously a couple of schools of thought on reveals. And I am in one camp and my wife's in the other. Okay, so I believe that you can give Christmas presents early and open them early because it's a surprise when you open them, and who cares if it's December 23rd or December 25th. She believes you have to keep the surprise for the exact instant it's intended for. So you are in my wife's camp, and my wife would say you're brilliant and you're right, and I'm like, why the fuck does anybody care? It's a surprise when you open it, so what's the difference? So we were surprised yesterday. Are we going to be surprised next year? No, but so what? Leg up on Sony. Microsoft revealed the Xbox Series X name. Guess what Sony's going to call the next PlayStation? I'm guessing PlayStation 5.
Confirmed.
Yeah. So at the point, did they blow it by saying PS5? No, we all knew that. We needed to be more suspenseful, the Xbox Series X, versus Project Scarlet. Scarlet was never going to be the name, which I still don't even understand where Scarlet came from. It's no, don't think it matters. Don't think there's wind out of sails. You know what's going to take the wind out of their sails? Charging more than $400. That's a problem. And so I think far more relevant to the success of both boxes is if there's a price differential. If they're priced the same, I think that they have, an equal chance of thriving. If they're priced vastly different, I think the cheaper one's going to win. So let's see what happens on pricing. That PS5 spec looks like, I think I said this, $1,000 box. So, God bless them. We'll see if they can pull it off for $400 because that's the right price point. Okay, our last question this week from YouTube, from Seiko Yume. What are your MSRP predictions for the Xbox family of consoles after the rumored 2 versions of Xbox Series X launch? Some are saying a more powerful version could cost up to $800. Is that even feasible? My guess would be Anaconda $499, Lockhart $349, Xbox One X $249, Xbox One S $179, Xbox All Digital $129. Xbox would cover all budgets of those price points. Look, I think that your price tier is probably about right. I think $500 for the top box is the maximum you can charge. So that, yes. Knowing Microsoft, I'd say $100 difference between the more powerful and less powerful. But the problem is, and I don't know the specs on Lockhart. Lockhart better be more powerful than an Xbox One X. So Xbox Series X, number B, whatever, Series XB or X2, better be more powerful than Xbox One X. And I don't know if they can differentiate those two. So I would say $500, $400. Xbox One X, if I had to bet, they'll start at $300. Xbox One S at $200. Xbox One All Digital at $100. So I had to bet, which is not materially different than you put down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That really differentiates for all budgets. What I think is far more interesting is the Xbox One, I think they call it All Access, the subscription plan. And I don't even remember what you get anymore. You get Xbox Live for sure. I think, do you get Game Pass thrown in there? So it's Game Pass, Xbox Live, and a console, and it's $20 for the existing ones, for the Xbox One S. Can you do it for $50 for an Anaconda, and $40 for a Lockhart, and $30 for an Xbox One X, and $20 for an Xbox One S? I actually think they'll do that. And, if you kind of do $50 a year, it's like, well, shit, $50 a month. It's like, well, shit, I'm spending $600 for the console, but you're getting Game Pass, which is worth $15. You're getting Xbox Live, which is worth $5. And so it really is $30 a month for a console. And that's, for a $500 console, that's pretty reasonable. So I think they're going to probably push subscription for all these things. And then they'll probably say you can trade up at any time. So you can sign up, and by the way, if they can do, I doubt they'll do a $10 all Xbox All Digital with Game Pass in it, but they could probably do a pretty inexpensive plan. Like literally, they could probably do $15 a month and give you everything, and give you an Xbox One Digital just to hook you in. So I think you're going to see them get really innovative on subscription pricing, which could help the installed base. And the real question is, does Sony follow suit? Sony has PlayStation Now, and it's $99 a year. So they absolutely could pull it off. They could do the same thing. They could bundle PS Now, PlayStation Network, and a new console. And I actually think you're going to see that. So it'll be really interesting. And you're going to compare and contrast that with stuff like Stadia. You know, do I want to pay $10 a month for Stadia and $129 to start, or do I want to just pay, you know, $20 or $30 a month for an Xbox subscription and nothing to start? And I think Microsoft's a pretty compelling option. So Sony's going to see if Microsoft's successful with that, they're going to offer the same thing. That's what I think happens. But I would just, because it's easy, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when you cut price, you know, literally you can do $450, $350, $250, $150, and $50. I mean, I don't think they should care about giving away an Xbox One all digital in 2024. Like, I don't think that matters at all. Get people, you know, in and get them playing Xbox games. And if you can get them paying you $15 a month for a Game Pass, that's awesome. So that's what I think happens. Let's hope I'm right. I'm never wrong, as you know. Often wrong, never in doubt. All right, so thank you. Thanks for joining us on this week's Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Again, if you're a Patreon patron, thank you. We appreciate the support. It's helping Shane to feed his family. If you can't support us on Patreon, please connect your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account. Instructions are in the show description. And if you can't do either of those, please follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Follow Shane at Dinfire. Follow SIFTD at SIFTD Games. See you next week. Thanks.